先调一下。哎，能听见我说话吧？能不能听见我说话？我自己看一下。啊，能听到声音怎么样？大还是小？待会儿调一下。好久没直播了。看看有啥东西没？98了，怎么突然就？早知道90的时候该收点儿。看看能不能搞一个。把我的 Zoom 先挂上。还有10来分钟。窗口。待处置。啥玩意儿？ 等会儿设置一下。多少币了？530差不多。还在收，还在收，反正就跌了就收。其实想炒短线也可以，就是这个感觉价格还是比较好预测的。只是我没那精力，不想去盯着这玩意儿。这不是我这还挂着呢。昨天吧，昨天刚到涨，然后就涨起来。我这虚拟形象咋开不起来了？什么情况？算了，就随便播播吧。现在价格，我觉得其实看这个，看今年上半年这些消息能不能把币价拉上去，但是我觉得主要受这个市场大环境影响，就是整个大盘都在跌的话，你想逆风上涨，那确实有点难，对吧？除非你的这个利好是特别重大的利好，否则的话一般也不会涨太多。我对Chia其实要求不高，就别怎么讲，就是别没有原因的跌就好。就是它所有的跌都在我意料之中的话，那就 OK。如果不在我意料之中的话，那就行。刚刚那个新闻没啥讲，就是老头发的这个。这老头发的这个，我看怎么放大一下。基本上我感觉就是今天可能他要讲的内容。我这还没办法一边看弹幕一边跟你们讲，看看100以下，我觉得已经属于白菜价了。就是你再跌，我觉得极限可能也就是50吧，我觉得这相当极限了。一般我觉得80都已经比较极限。当然也看整个大环境。就说这个Chia发 launch 就是上线了这个第一个原生的 P2P 的点对点的一个交易所，就是 DEX 嘛，说白了。 就讲了讲这个东西是个什么原理，有这个 makers 和 takers，就是可以说开单的和收单的，就是卖的和买的。然后你这个用钱包，然后创建，就是想卖的话就创建一个卖单或者买单，然后有一个文件，你把这个文件发给对方，发给这个你想交易的那个对方，然后就可以完成交易，就不需要经过这个交易所。当然也有这个交易所，现在有那个叫什么来着？我想不起来名字，叫 Greenhouse， 叫 Green 什么 Green Hash 还是叫 Hash Green， 好像是啊，对 Hash Green 对，就是可以发到这种中间网站吧，然后它相当于一个公告板一样的东西，就是大家都可以往这上面发信息，它应该是挣不了中间的这种手续费的，就是相当于一个无偿给大家提供这么一个平台的一个东西，就是买卖双方，反正也不用管谁跟你买卖双方吧，你就想卖的话，你就把你的这个创建好的文件上传到这个上面去，然后就等，然后只要有别人愿意跟你做交易的话，或者交易量足够大的话，那就是别人正好是你的那个想卖那个价格的话，那就会自动完成交易，应该是这样。当然也不知道他们后来有没有做过什么一些其他的修改吧。还有就是我估计今天就两个大的点，一个是这个 DEX， 一个是那个稳定币吧。稳定币怎么讲呢？稳定币算是一个比较基本的东西。你说它有吗？倒不一定真的会给币价带来多大的增长，但是你说它没有吗？那确实是个硬伤，就属于一个非常基本的东西，说你必须得有。但是这有了这个东西，对生态的发展肯定也是有很大帮助的。那可能我不知道这个你们能不能听到它这个系统的声？我放点音乐啥的，看看测试一下。我也听不到，我得自己开个直播听一下。好像没声音啊。喂，啊，延迟还行。我调一下这个系统声音。 啊，没声音。看看，这个 OBS 我还不太会用。桌面音频。哦，我知道了。
对着花开，太一程，太过天真，才会把你的寂寞当作契合的灵魂。也是我自作自受惊人，那么认真，相信你，多幸福的吻。
小的风扇是为了给你们直播，我把我的唯一的一块3090都关了，免得吵到你。Tel 什么意思 ？Tel 是个缩写，就是提示token 就是代币。还是啥？包括文档可能
生活有点坎坷，
L 是
爱情有点曲折，我抱着小小一个疯子一样快乐的累了。我睡着一个人，
就是发行，合起来就是这个代币的一个发行的限制。
被爱情击倒了，无可奈何。
对，就 Tel 就是你这个代币发行的一个规则，就是你限制不是肯定不能随便什么人都能发这个代币，必须得是有一定的限制才行的，它就是那个限制的程序。快开始了，还有5分钟、3分钟，11点就3分钟之后开始吧，预计。隐身太大了，音乐关，好，开始，等会儿我偷一下。都关麦了，啥意思？先把这个关掉。有出口，调一下。咋突然没了？哦，这个 Zoom 是真的。这咱们现在没说话，他们现在没开麦，听不见正常。啥也听不到，不至于吧？我说话应该还听得到。 哎，来了个中国人，这是亚裔是个谁？啊，可能是个 ABC， 看这名字 ，Harry 宋还是什么的？看看聊天有啥人说？你们能看到这个 Zoom 里头的聊天吧？看不到，这是单独的窗口。能听见我说话吧？啊，能听到就行。我想想，哦对，给它缩一下，这样就行。我认识一哥们儿，最近也在面这个企业，好像是这个人在主持面试。西伯利亚，感觉有很多新面孔今天。看来这团队最近确实多了不少新人。我就这么播。今天倒是没见老头啊，金也不知道跑哪儿去了。你们觉得他这个人的声音大小怎么样？不过你们应该也不听他说啥是吧？哎，等会儿怎么好像我知道了，输出有问题。
Zoom, if you're watching the YouTube live stream, you can put questions in the chat, but I cannot guarantee we'll get to them just because it's hard for us to follow both at once, but we will try to pull those in. But if you're able to join the Zoom webinar, we do prefer you do that if you have questions you want to ask. With that said, we'll kind of get started here with introductions. And then after the intros, Paul
我认识的人，我还没入职啊。认识的人我就认识这俩，这个不用说 ，Bram。这是他们负责这个社区的一个 VP 吧。这个也是老面孔，这个还行，这两个完全不认识，可能是新人。
Hey everybody, I'm Bram. I do some product and
这是你们能不能看得到我的鼠标啊？我的坏。
And came up with the offers idea.
看看我开没开？显示鼠标。
Hey everybody, I'm Paul. I'm Paul Hainsworth.
这两个是个完全新人，剩下几个人都见过倒是。
And Cameron, you want to say hi?
Yeah, I'm Cameron Cooper. Although I recently joined Chia officially, today I'm here, I think, in unofficial capacity, and we'll be demoing which is not an official Chia property, but I think it's relevant to offer, so we're going to show it here.
And then from the non-Chia side of things, we have Harry with us today from Hatch Green and Marcus from Stably. You guys want to say hi? Marcus, you can go first.
啊，这人不是Chia的，我是怎么没见过？这是那个稳定币的公司的人。有一些不是Chia的人。就先自我介绍一下。
I'm one of the founders of Hashgreen.
他是 Hashgreen 的人，我说怎么也没见过他。就是我刚才展示的那个 DEX 的那个交易平台的人，这今天2个主要的点吧，一个是那个 offer， 一个是稳定币。
Yeah, so we're super excited to launch Chia Offers today in Chia's Light Wallet beta. Offers enables a decentralized peer-to-peer trading capability of assets on the Chia blockchain. It's entirely self-custody. It doesn't require any middleman or market maker. It eliminates all counterparty risk. And it doesn't rely on any third-party smart contracts the way things work in Ethereum. By releasing offers today, in the Light Wallet, we're really just getting started. Offers are a kind of Chia Lisp primitive, which is to say it's like a building block for the Chia ecosystem. We expect the ecosystem and community to build all kinds of tools, things like trading tools, DEXs, real-time
他现在就在介绍那个 offer 的一些特点吧。
using the Chia offers capability that we built today.
这个我刚才开播的时候说了一下。
Partners that you heard, Hashgreen and OfferBin, we'll do some demos.
就是它后面会有 demo， 会有演示的，可以等它演示的时候看一下。我也现在先不细讲。
Super exciting. We're going to do a live demo of offers, and then right after this live stream, you can try out offers yourself by downloading the Light Wallet beta from chia.net.
他们钱包应该这个
Why don't I jump into
会议完了应该就会上线。
Graham and I are going to talk a little bit about some of the details about how offers work. I am
是不是已经上了？我没看官网。
And Jay, let me know if you can see my screen now.
算了，先看他演示吧。
Good. Okay. So let's imagine we've got Alice and Bob. These are two people who've got a bunch of assets. And we've got on the left side of the screen here, Alice, who says in a Keybase channel called Offers Trading, Chia Offers, saying, I'm buying some XCH at 100 space bucks per mojo.
他在模拟2个人交易。
And also
就是一个人想用100个那个 SBXB 去买一个 mojo， 就是100比1吧。
Yes, I would love to do that. Bob can then respond and create an offer. And I'll show you here how that works in the Chia Light Wallet. Go into Manage Offers. And
他在演示怎么创建这个 offer， 就是卖单吧，应该算是。
one mojo. He doesn't have a lot of mojos. In exchange for 100 space bucks, matching the amount
就是选择你就是你要买的这个，你要换的这个币，用 XCH 去换什么，然后输入这个比例就是这个这么多1 mojo 换100个币，差不多。
For now, let's save that file.
然后就创建一个文件。
Directly within the Light Wallet, Bob can then post this offer directly into.
它会给你一些默认的这个交易所选项，就是你可以。你可以选择你把你的这个文件，它会直接帮你上传到那些对应的平台上面，这算是一个比较省事儿的过程吧。你也可以自己去上传，就不用他上传也可以。然后他用这个 Keybase 作为这个交易的这个。
And I'm just going to do a quick thing here because I've got a developer tool here. Is going to go into Manage Offers and select View Offer.
这是那个对方怎么操作？就是当你收到一个文件之后，
make sure that this is exactly what they agreed on. There's one mojo for one space box.
你可以查看就是这个提供 offer 的这个人他的开出来的这个价格。你觉得 OK 的话，你可以点这个接受这个 offer， 就相当于完成交易。然后这样交易就完成了，就是差不多就是这样，就不需要任何中间的过程，所以本质上它是一个 DEX 去中心化的一个交易。
So you'll see in under manage offers that the trade is pending, and once it's confirmed in the next block, it will show that it's been confirmed. So both parties get what they wanted, the trade is completed, and everybody's happy. So that is the start of Chia offers. And we built this as an end-to-end experience that works for any user in the ecosystem. We encourage people to get started and try this out. But this is really just the start of where offers are going. You can expect to see all kinds of stuff happening down the road. So I wanted to maybe have a quick discussion with Bram about this, about some of the things that you'd like to see the community build and where you see offers go.
Yeah, offers are not an exchange. They're a platform for building exchanges and things. So we anticipate that there will be many community-based, really trading venues. Hesitate to say exchange sometimes because that sometimes means a particular thing legally that
现在他就想让这个 Bram 怎么讲？问问他对这个东西未来的发展的一个看法吧。
But we expect that there will be a whole bunch of these things popping up. There will be
他们不会做特别复杂的功能，他们只会就完成最基本的这些功能，然后他们是想让社区去在这个基础上面去实现更复杂的东西。
Get the services that people use most for these things.
Yeah. Some of the other things that I could see people in the community starting to do is creating their own OTC or over-the-counter desks, where this type of trading can happen for large-scale transactions. Again, with no transaction fees, no middlemen, and most importantly, no counterparty risk. Which is typically not how most OTC desks work today. Typically, you send your funds to the OTC desk and hope they send it back to you. With offers, you no longer have that counterparty risk. That's a really big advantage.
Yeah. Another thing coming in the future is AMMs, that people, of course, are interested in AMMs. The need for them is less when you have offers, but it's still there. And the general feature of having some AMM that behaves programmatically, that's on chain, is there. I did do a blog post talking about this, but it was a bit dense and technical. But in the future, there will be AMMs which will allow people to get returns in exchange for providing the liquidity for the AMM and having guarantees that the AMM is not just going to
他在说那个 AMM 叫什么自动做事的那个东西，这个应该可以支持，就是你把钱存进去，相当于流动性挖矿吧。
We're not that far in development of it yet. We're going to make a demo.
他们在搞那个我觉得可能就是应该可以实现，就是完全在链上的这种流动性挖矿，就是你不用担心。比如说现在你在其他交易平台、交易所上面流动性挖矿，他们可能跑路了之后，你的钱就没了，对吧？但是如果是就是原生的这种的流动性挖矿的话，你存进去的话，它是会永远就是它跑不了路。简单来讲，就是它可以，你的收益会一直往你的这个账户里头去打，你也可以去，就跟你这个加入那个矿池差不多，应该。
And so you're going to see more of this type of reference implementation from us. You saw this with our pooling protocol. And we're going to continue with that type of pattern as we build and ship things in the Chia ecosystem. Bram, do you want to talk for a moment about how offer files work from a technical perspective? What they are, how they work?
他要讲一下这个 offer 的这个文件技术细节吧。
There's this property of Chia itself that it doesn't have a super coherent concept of the boundaries around a transaction. That a transaction is a bunch of coin spends, of individual coin spends, which might mutually be able to go through if they're all put through together. Sometimes they overtly depend on each other. They declare that they depend on each other, but sometimes there's this implicit thing in that you're not allowed to just print money. Obviously, that would be bad. We've made the same thing apply to the Cat 1 standard as well. With very intentionally the same property that you can
他就是在讲一下这个技术细节吧，其实也没啥新鲜的东西。
that actually has an excess of funds, and some other partial transaction that is printing money and put them together and net out to 0, and this is still a valid transaction. So what's happening with an offer file is it's a partial transaction. It's not done yet. It has the solutions to some coins, but it is either printing
就是说你这个创建的这个 offer 叫什么？这个 offer 中文还真不知道该咋翻译。就是个交易意向的这个文件吧，它相当于只包含了这个。 如果你对Chia这个概念熟悉了，它的每个硬币它需要有每一次你转账都需要 spend 的一个coin，就是花费这个硬币。它只包含了一部分信息，然后由这个接受交易的这一方呢提供另外一部分。报价可以，报价这翻译可以。
take the side of your offer that's printing stuff and say, well, I'll take that without returning, or the side of your thing that's burning stuff, and no one can say, well, I'll take that without giving you back the thing that you're trying to print. They're attached.
它这个币的编程的时候就设计好，必须得是双方交易同时完成才可以记录到区块链上面去，所以就不存在一方违约的这么一个情况。就要么就原子性吧，就如果你对数据库概念比较熟悉的话，就是交易的原子性，要么两个都成功，就要么就都失败。
The other really interesting thing is that while I demonstrated here a peer-to-peer, person-to-person trade, you can also have multiple parties fill that offer. And so it isn't just one single party that can fill an offer. You could, through a type of order book approach, you could imagine a decentralized exchange combining takers to fill a single offer file. And so that starts to unwrap a number of interesting things that can happen in a decentralized trading environment.
这是我最开始说的。
Because we have non-interactive aggregation here, someone can actually make book that a bunch of different people can make offers.
他们可以有一个交易的这个交易。
whoever it is that they send everything to can combine those themselves and actually keep the spread for themselves.
它不是一个搞市场的，说白了。 就是他刚才演示的是一个人创建一个 offer， 然后另外一个人就是直接就接受那个 offer， 对吧？另外一个人没有创建，这是另外一个 offer。 那就是如果有中间平台的话，有一个 DEX 的交易所的话，那它可以就是接受双方的 offer， 然后把这个两个 offer 再合并成一个，然后这样去完成交易。就这样也是可以的。
Talk to Marcus from Stably, who's going to be talking about the first stablecoin on Chia. Marcus, why don't you take it away?
All right, yeah, thanks Paul for the intro here.
这哥们儿是那个稳定币的，这是另外一个东西。
The Chia Foundation to launch USDS, the first stablecoin on the Chia blockchain.
USDS.
And just in general, the idea of a stablecoin is really to have a stable mean of conversion for trading or for payments or for other use cases. And we have a very traditional stablecoin approach where basically every dollar that is minted is backed one-to-one and is held in a secure.
他们这个稳定币是1:1的这个。叫什么？就是每一个稳定币后面都是有1个美元支持的。
What we'll be demoing you guys today is how users will be able to mint and then also show how they will be able to redeem the stable coins using our platform that's called Stably Prime. So I'm gonna start sharing my screen here.
他也要有个 demo 去演示一下这个稳定币的怎么用。
So this is our platform. I'm not going to demo how users sign up and go through a KYC process now.
它不会演示注册的这些流程。
With a regulated financial institution, everyone has to go through a account application with us and leave their personal information. If that doesn't work for you,
我怎么感觉他们做的这是 OTC 啊？难道可以直接用这个东西买这个稳定币吗？用美元直接去买这个稳定币吗？这样真的就不需要其他的这种 OTC 交易所了。待会儿完了可以测试一下，看样子像是可以。可以，它可以支持银行转账的，看到没有？这是个 OTC， 同志们，这是个 OTC。我不知道国内能不能访问到这个网站，但是。当然，我也不知道它可能有 SWIFT 的，理论上讲可能会支持银联的银行吧。我没太仔细看啊，这个得研究一下。但肯定是可以从银行去买这个币的。然后用这个币呢，你可以再去买 XH 或者其他的 Chia 链上的币。它这个就是你买了币之后，就是你银行转账到他们这里的话，他们会把这个稳定币打到你的钱包里头去。是不新鲜，但是就是它现在，你现在买Chia的话，你只能就是在别的链上先OTC 到别的链上，对吧？然后再去买，就你只能在交易所上面去买，说白了，你不能通过直接链上去买。这个是对的，这个生态建设的意义比较大，并不是说它有什么多大的技术突破。对，就有些人他不愿意去用这些交易所的呀，就是我就是想直接用美元去买你的这个 XH， 对吧？这就可以实现了。它不需要到什么交易所上面去注册其他的东西。它这上面难道我明白，它以后它是可以跨链的这个东西，你可以去买一些其他比特币什么的，以太网这些东西。是的，对，简单来讲就是降低了人们购买 XAH 的门槛，这肯定是有利的嘛。
Your tokens directly to US dollars, and then you can send them to your bank account using the same method. If you're not in the US or you don't have access to a bank account, another thing you could do if you happen to have Bitcoin Ethereum and you want to mint Chia USDS, you can actually deposit Bitcoin and then trade it for US dollars using this functionality.
就如果你不是在美国的话，你可以通过比特币，然后去存到这个网站上面，然后去兑换它的这个稳定币。
All right, yeah. So I think that's pretty much it in terms of the functionality here.
这个东西我感觉还有点意思。
Wallet here, it usually, as I mentioned, it already takes a couple minutes to settle.
所以说，你要是炒币，最好还是有个美国银行的账户，没有的话是真的麻烦。
You can then transfer it or use it for office trades. All right, I think that pretty much covers it from our side. Just one more thing I want to mention in terms of any future iterations here. So we're actually launching a new iteration of our platform very soon, which will then
它这还是一个 beta 版本，看到它这个 UI 应该还会有一些改动。
Please reach out to us, and we can see how we can kind of work together there. We have a lot of plans on how to iterate on this new iteration of our product.
不过它这其实两个东西，一个 OTC， 一个跨链，算是解决了目前比较棘手的两个问题。
Marcus, can you tell us when
就是它
anybody can go open a stably prime trust
直
account
接美
and
金
fund it to get
可以
USDS?
演示倒是。
Yeah, so you can do this right now. We actually
不过我觉得他刚才也演示了，其实挺简单的。就是你但凡用过这种美国的这种线上炒股的炒币的网站，都是一个流程。
So your account will be improved instantly. For international use, it takes a couple of days. In terms of when you'll be able to mint share USDS, they'll be ready.
但是如果是就是交易Chia的人的话，我觉得应该肯定会选择他这种方式。为什么？因为现在的方式，你通过 Coinbase 买，他先就是你转账到他那儿就得5-6天，然后你再转到交易所去买 XAH， 这样这个早就错过了这个买入的时机或者是这交易的时机。他这个就很快，应该。当然我也没试过，我觉得他应该是不会锁，因为看他的演示就是。你一旦到账之后，到他账之后，可能2天差不多，按照美国银行的标准，2天到他账，然后他马上要给你发这个稳定币到你的Chia的钱包里头去，然后你就可以交易了。也就是原来是6天，现在缩短到2天就可以到账，我觉得还是很大的一个进步。
Then people will be able to basically deposit it
少了一个环节。
then withdraw it as Chia Rapid.
但是我觉得他们应该搞一个流动性挖矿啊！既然如此，他们可能后面会出流动性挖矿，我估计。
It's always redeemable one-to-one for your Bitcoin.
Yeah, so I think that's a really important point to make. People who have Bitcoin.
老美不用这些，很少用移动支付。老美现在还在寄支票呢。Google 支付不太行，说实话。有一个 Venmo 还可以，相当于微信，但说白了，那都是平时小开销才用那种玩意儿，大开销还是银行转账比较多一些。
So it's really not just a USDS launch today. It's really the announcement of 3 major asset tokens launching on the Chia network. Pretty exciting. Any other
看老外的反应还可以。Incredible news.
Contestant.
I think that pretty much covers it. So if you have any, just if you have any more questions, please feel free to reach out. You can even do so on the app here directly.
哎，不过感觉真是长江后浪推前浪。这2个人都挺年轻的，看的都是小年轻。该这个 DEX 平台的人讲了，就是那个 Hash Green。
So, yeah, Stressing who's currently in the chat right now, and I are actually the founders of Hashgreen.
就是你这个生态，你光有应用没有用，你得能有渠道把外面的这个资金引入到这个生态当中去，这个生态才能活，对吧？你这个钱进不来，你在这里头开发什么东西都是扯淡。首先得把这个钱能引进来，然后有了钱了，大家自然就会有很大的动力去开发各种各样的东西。
Like our goal would be trying to build a very inclusive DeFi environment for the whole community, and like this DEX is only the first step. We're trying to
听着不像香港人，说实话。
help not only the project developers,
应该就是个美籍的华裔。
every end users. So here's what's gonna happen today. I'm gonna walk you through the demo of the
他也要做一个 demo，
how you use it, how you trade your favorite Chia asset tokens.
今天 demo 倒是挺多的，那真是有点干货。但是没干货的话，就嘴上光讲讲，没啥好演示，谈谈理想什么的。这次干货属于比较多。它是演示怎么用它这个 DEX 平台去交易。我肯定不是这。我要是在这讲，我还得给你们在这直播。看看人家操作。
Some pretty familiar tabs like order book, trade history, and order management for the users, that you all are familiar with. But there are two very distinct features, namely the lack of a login, because we don't track view with your account. We're decentralized in the way that
就是你不需要注册在这个平台上面。这是 DEX 的一个标志吧？他不知道谁和谁完成了交易，他也不在乎谁和谁完成了交易。就是我刚才开始之前演示过一下，就是你创建好你的那个 offer 的那个文件，就是叫什么报价之后，上传到这个平台上面就可以。
Concretely, what you would do is to open up your Light wallet, start managing your offer. So suppose you want to buy Chia at a price of 100 USDS, you would be offering 100 USDS for a Chia. So
他这个演示这个例子比较真实，就是他现在在演示这个用100的这个稳定币去买一个 Chia， 跟现在的价格比较接近。
So right after you click the offer saving, you have the options like what
然后他会创建一个文件，这时候其实就是他会现场写一个 Chia list 的程序，然后保存到文件里头去。然后按照刚才演示，他应该选择一个你想发到哪个平台，然后中间这个就是他们的这个平台。然后你点这个 share 就发送分享。就发到他们平台上面去了。
When you start to share the offers to the Hashgreen DEX, see it popping up here, and in order for you to claim the ownership of your offer, you will have to go to this URL provided.
它会返回一个这个 URL， 就相当于你个人的一个个人的管理的页面。就其实跟你那些加入矿池的时候，他们也会给你一个 URL 作为你个人的一个管理页面一样。因为你是匿名就是你没有登录，你是匿名的，所以只能通过这个 URL。有这个 URL 的人，他就认为是这个 order 的这个主人或者拥有者。你可以去取消你的这个交易， 就是通过它那个链接打开这个管理界面之后，你可以取消这个交易。
We wipe the offer off in our database. While it is still possible for someone to utilize your offer to force that transaction to be done on the blockchain, we make sure that there's no offer left in our database. So unless you have also sent this offer to your friend or on Keybase, your offer is pretty safe. I mean, even in the case that you don't entirely trust us, you still have the option of hard canceling the offer in your wallet on the blockchain. So I did mention a second option of directly drag and dropping the file to trade. So that's what I'm doing here. I can drag and drop this file in the box here.
就是你如果不是刚才直接通过客户端官方钱包去上传的话，就是直接拽上来就好了，拖拽上来就上传上来就好了。
At a price of 100 USDS. When I click like, it's showing up in here. Same as before, but easier, and you don't have to reclaim the ownership because you're already in this process session. So suppose I'm on the other side. I want to sell 100. So I want to sell a Chia to this person who just posted, a buy at 100.
然后他现在要模拟就是另外一方的交易过程。
In this case, because for offers to match up, they have to be equal on not just the amount but also the price. We have provided a very easy way for you to match that. What you only need to do is to hover on the offer that you want to match. It will show up the exact amount that you have to offer to provide a counter offer to this one. So in this case, I will need to input a offer of 1 Chia in exchange for 100 USDS. Let's go back to our good old wallet again. In this case, I'm providing a Chia.
然后他现在要反过来，就是另外一方的操作，就是通过出一个 XAH 来换100个稳定币，也是一样的，就是创建一个正好相反的这么一个 offer， 然后上传上去，然后这个平台会帮你把两个这个 offer 整合成一个，然后发送到这个区块链上面去。
Just a little more seconds. Cool. So that now I'm sharing it to the Hashgreen DEX. You should see to
它上传上去的一瞬间，这个东西就合并了，然后就发送，就消失了。
Former market maker, I could scroll to this part where I can see the whole order history, and as you can see here, the order that I made is just
就是你可以在这个交易记录里头找到这个。
because we are bundling up the offers.
它刚发出去，这个东西还在等待这个区块链确认。
We don't directly handle the, like we're facilitating this trade, but we don't really put in any money or extracting any money from it as a Hashgreen DEX. And as you can see later, it will start going from confirming 1/16
这东西怎么盈利啊？我现在在想。
16/16. That means that
界面的还好，我觉得不是啥问题，都好说。后台只要做的没啥问题，界面改起来很简单。但它现在没办法从中间收任何的手续费，那相当于属于就是可能广告可能是一个收入，但是我觉得广告太少了。但是说白了，它的这个成本也不高，它就是把两方的这个交易撮合一下。
So shout out to XCH Scan here for making this beautiful interface. But basically, this is a previous transaction that I made to myself. But this is the coin that I've provided. So you're able to verify that. So while we speak, the trades that I just made has been starting to confirm. That means it's currently on the highest block in the blockchain. and of course, it needs time to settle like for more blocks.
这人问的这个问题还挺有点意思的，应该是可以，就是他能不能就像我们那个交易所交易一样，设置一个这个有效期，就比如说2天之后，如果没有人跟我交易的话，自动取消之类的。
Three pairs for exchange, namely USDS, stable USD that you just heard from Marcus.
它目前只支持这个三种这个交易对。但交易对对他来讲很好添加，应该不是啥麻烦事。
We're also expecting some other coins to join us, including the Kachi coin from the Chia TK team, Zero Range tokens, sticky bonds from Pick and Rolls who have applied through the listing portal. So make sure to contact us for listing because we want to know how many community projects are out there and what interesting aspects are you providing. And if you are still having questions about like the Hashgreen DEX, you can scroll to the FAQ. And there's some interesting questions on there that you might have. Cool.
它这个硬件消耗资源不高，说实话。关键就是咱们处理好高并发就行。
Because like over the past few months, we have seen like many exciting projects being developed in the Chia blockchain, and we feel like we can be this piece of the puzzle that fit in as a DeFi community builder, not just for the end users, but also for the project developers and the whole Chia blockchain. End users would be able to get into a project with less friction. Project developers would gain easier access to token issuance via initial DEX offering. And we're all here to see the Chia blockchain thrive, right? So we're prioritizing DeFi. And as the first thing.
这么看来，他们好像他在讲他的心路历程。这么看来，他们好像真的就是单纯的为这个社区做贡献，也不指望这东西挣多少钱。
Like the interface and the user experience, and we'll be adding AMM as a part of the
就是单纯的
the markets with less liquidity can largely benefit from.
想构建这个 DEX
back to the community members via liquidity mining, which is a piece that's missing in the current ecosystem.
他也说了一下流动性挖矿。可能他们也打算做流动性挖矿。
Some interesting cats to list. Contact us at listing at hashgreen.net, and we're looking to grow our team. So if you're interested in us, let us know.
他开始
all for me.
顺便做了一个招聘广告。
Super exciting to see this go live, and it's really a really fantastic start to building a DEX. I love that you
看这评论，就这会议室的评论，感觉好像老外们最起码好像都挺满意啊，都是鼓掌。不过老外一般都比较愿意夸人。不太吝啬自己的这个赞美。目前没看到什么没看到有什么负面的反应。为爱发电，其实也不一定啊，就跟我一样，我现在也做好几个，我们现在也在做一个 project， 基本做完，反正我的部分做完了，他们前台还在调。他怎么还有 demo？
discover, download, and share offer files. So let me go ahead and share my screen here.
啊，这又是一个 DEX 啊，这又是一个 DEX。这是1、2、3、4个 demo 啊。这个 UI 做的我感觉好像还比较 fancy， 比较。
Or if you find one that you like, you can actually just download it and trade it on the chain. So in terms of the filters, we've got a bunch of pre-listed cats in here. So for example, if I missed out on the holiday token and I want to get one of those, I can look for an offer and see if anybody's offering a holiday token. And here's a case where I could get that. Or maybe I
它这个更取巧，我明白了，它这个不是自动化的，就是说你想买什么东西，然后你到这个网站上面输入你想买的这信息，比如说我想买这个币，然后把你的这个价格输入，它会给你一些可选的这个选项，相当于一个搜索引擎一样。你看到合适的，你自己点那个 download， 把这个 offer 文件下载下来，然后再用刚才那个单模演示的，就是接受这个 offer， 然后你自己去完成这个交易，就是你自己撮合这两个交易发送到区块链上面去。跟刚才那个自动化完全自动化的不一样，它这个技术含量，怎么讲呢？稍低一些，不如刚才那个技术含量高，但是我感觉好在是可能就更灵活一些。那比如说你想100块钱买一个币，然后可能有人99，你也可以考虑一下，这样的话你就可以有选择嘛。它那个就是自动的，就必须得是双方价格正好一样，然后才能完成交易。这个的话比较适合，就相当于你在逛这个逛市场，你在逛街一样，逛商店一样，你自己挑是吧？你挑到合适的，有点淘宝那个意思。说不定你能捡个漏是吧？你看到没事的话，你上去看看，说不定有人1块钱卖 XAH， 你就可能捡这个漏。但是如果你在那个平台上面的话，自动平台上面的话就很难。国内喷啥呀？有啥可喷的？我不知道。
And you'll see this is my offer that
I
just generated. So I'm going to go ahead and download that. We see this is that file that I just downloaded. Let's go ahead to my other wallet and let's say manage offers. I'm going to view an offer and maybe drag
演示它下载好了之后，然后把这个下载好的文件拖进去，然后检查一下没有问题，点那个绿色的接受 offer， 就完成了，基本上。
Couple things to note about this. We, as you saw, it's sort of totally userless system. We're also tracking the state of these offers, and so there's actually no way to remove it from the OfferBid website. As long as it's valid and active offer, it'll remain as status live. But if you actually went into your offers and canceled that offer, then we would actually see that on the back end and update it as a canceled offer. And then also, we actually track whether or not the offer was accepted, and then we would show it as an accepted offer. So you can see my balances just updated. So I should have 50 stably over here, as well as 0.01 XCH over there. So all of that worked. If I reload this, you'll see that this offer was actually.
但这个应该是官方的，这哥们儿是Chia官方的人，这项目应该是官方搞的一个平台。那个是这华裔小哥是第三方的，当然。没啥差别，他第三方的也可以信任，就是他没啥可以，就是操作的空间，没啥操作的空间。币价跌啥了？币价不涨了吗？98了还跌。还有东西。
Live on our site now at chia.net, you now have a buy XCH button.
官网这个按钮有用了。
It gives you an easy workflow to buy Chia.
它这官网就给了一个怎么用美元去买 XCH 的一个教程。
XCH by opening a Stably Prime Trust account. Funding that with USD, as you heard today from Marcus at Stably, the majority of
但我感觉这个东西的可信度很重要啊。 我现在比较怕的是官方就是太着急构建生态，有点怕有人滥竽充数的混进来，浑水摸鱼，就混进来一个骗子，那样就反而是欲速则不达了。我觉得官方对这些合作伙伴的筛选也得把关。
So decentralized, no counterparty risk, and highly secure. So that's the last thing we wanted to mention for today. I wanted to hand it back to you, Jay.
老外没喷的，老外都是买。As promised， 就是兑现承诺了。Fantastic，
fellow friends on the panel who've not been reading my messages, can you please start tagging the questions you want to answer that I've been asking you to tag, so I know who to give questions to? Thank you. In the meantime, we have a couple of low-hanging fruit stuff that will get out of here real quick.
Elon Musk has to say how Chia works.
That aren't related to this presentation. So I just want to kind of set the tone right up front that if it's not related to this launch and the things we've covered, we're probably not going to get to your questions. So questions like when are you going to be on this particular exchange? When are you going to release this feature? When are you going to do this thing?
生态这个东西啊，它是一个
they'll probably get closed out.
pipeline， 就是它是一个流一样。它不是说你每隔3个月出一茬，它是前3个月啥都没有，后3个月就是3个月之后，它就会不停的开始出，你懂吧？就只要有人在不停的开发新的东西，它就会不停的出。就一旦它开始产出应用的话，它就会隔三差五的出，它不会说再隔一大段时间一个应用没有然后再出，一般是这种规律啊。除非这个生态它那个活力不行了，那它可能会断断续续。所以现在第一茬就相当于你这第1年的播的种现在开始结果了。那后面它跟种地不一样，种地你是1年1收是吧？每年秋天你收一茬。应用是你可能第1年春天下的播的种，第1年秋天收了之后，那么冬天、明年的春天、明年的夏天，它都会有收获。都会有新的应用出来。
Of what things seem to be balancing out when you have like particularly specific balances that seem to be going plus and minus at the same time, you can guess that those were probably part of a swap, especially if you correlate similar things against what the exchange rate was at that exact moment that thing went through. So there are things you can do. It's not completely trivial, but there's a real cottage industry in gathering these sorts of metrics and figuring out what's going on with them. So worth doing that.
All right. So the actual offer system.
但我看到的问题，我也说点不好的。我看到的问题是，目前绝大多数的项目，说白了就是用爱发电。就刚才那朋友说。他们是，当然这个稳定币的，他们应该是有点利可图的，就是这个 DEX 这些的，基本上都用爱发电，就是你还是官方，我不知道他们可能官方有资助吧，可能官方资助的这些人，但是肯定还是得有点物质上的动力，让人家去开发你这个生态上面的应用。就目前我感觉这个物质上的驱动还不够大，大家还更多的还是一种兴趣爱好，这样也不容易把东西做得太好，就光凭兴趣爱好。
Well, a bunch of things. First of all, you can most definitely have a spread, even if there's no fees. That someone who's putting together a bunch of offers on different sides can see that there's a gap between them and pocket that for themselves, which is kind of that's since time immemorial has been the main business model of trading desks everywhere. But also it's very, very cheap to set up trading venues. So we expect there to be many of them, and often they might be living off of things like an ad-based business model for people who are looking at them.
就是说，他们现在这个 order book 这种模式吧，属于比较原始的交易策略、交易方式。那么就可以套用一些原来这个比较成熟的一些骚操作。如果你懂这些股票交易这些比较熟悉的话，原来可能10几年前用过那些骚操作，你现在可能还可以用。
Let's see. Paul, what happens if multiple people claim the same offer? How does it sort out that?
Yeah, so it's possible for multiple people to try to accept an offer. If, in the simple case, Alice accepts the offer and it gets submitted to the mempool and settle on chain. Bob then sees the same offer, tries to accept it. It's going to show in the Light wallet that it's invalid. And other wallets will follow the same kind of thing and show that it's invalid. It's not possible for that offer to be accepted twice. In time, as fees grow into the ecosystem, if both Alice and Bob accepted the same offer at the same time,
不太可能拉盘，官方是不太可能拉盘。拉盘这辈子是不可能拉盘。就他拉盘肯定不会用钱去拉盘的。
The one with the lower fee will be the loser in that race.
就他拉盘的方式肯定就是不能杀鸡取卵，拉盘属于用钱拉盘属于杀鸡取卵的方式。他们拉盘的方式就是用钱去砸应用，这是他们拉盘的方式。就把生态砸起来，这是他们拉盘。
Doesn't matter at all. We've named it the way we named it so that you can see the trading value easily. But if somebody changed that to try to trick you, then it wouldn't make any difference to the actual value that's in the offer file. We encourage everybody to verify
他在讲一个可能存在欺骗的这么一个场景，就是别人可能跟你说好是$100买一个币，对吧？然后他给你发过来的这个文件呢，可能是$50买你一个币，就是你自己。就是因为他现在没有中间的这个环节去帮你检查这个价格了，所以你在接受这个 offer 的时候，你自己得检查这个价格是不是你想要的价格。这我觉得没什么问题，就都是点对点的交易是吧？自己负责自己的这块的这个，没人能替你操这个心。
It's done. It's happened. The money has changed hands. If you put out an offer and change your mind afterwards, say, no, I don't want to make that offer, the UX in the wallets isn't the greatest for this right now, but they can be.
那看来这项目年轻人参与的挺多的，这几个都是年轻人，这3个，对吧？
So every time you
这说明这玩意儿好像年轻人买账的还比较多。
Going back to yourself. But if that original coin is spent doing something else, even just being rolled to a new coin, then the offer is no longer acceptable by anybody else. It can no longer go through.
Okay. So Bram, got a question for you that comes from the YouTube chat. Do we have plans to make it so that you can click a deep link for an offer on a website to basically open up the Light wallet just to do register with your OS, the link association?
Yeah. We are going to have some kind of file type association to allow that to happen automatically. It just didn't make it into this release. It's most definitely coming up real soon now.
扩展名关联的这么一个功能吧，现在应该没有，就是以后你可能把这个扩展这个 offer 的文件的类型的扩展名关联到这个客户端上面去，你一双击打开，它就自动可以给你显示出来这些东西，就点一个接受交易就 OK 了，都是一些小优化的。
Yeah, well, this is not entirely up to us.
和 Uni 有
The
啥
community
区
can build,
别？
the community is
我
going
觉
to
得
build and
上
use
面那
offer
朋
files.
友回答的应该
We're
差不
really
多。
excited to see what Tsunami Network brings to market. They have also
我觉得
a
这
really
区别还
interesting
是
DEX
挺
under
大的。
development. This is also the same team that is
当然，我说实话
building
不太了解
the
这个
Adobe
Uniswap 它
web
背后的
extension
这
wallet.
个，
And
我
as
虽
I
然
mentioned
用过，但是
earlier,
我不太了解它
the
背后
user
实现的
experience
这个方
improvement
式。
between a Chrome extension wallet and a DEX will be like order of magnitude better than what you've seen today. I saw one of the comments in the Q&A here related to the number of steps required to submit a transaction or to submit a bid. And that's totally fair.
年轻人的好处是能干， 愿意跟你，他没家庭，没老婆，没孩子，一天24小时能跟你干12小时，能跟你996。
Okay, cool, thanks.
这老头儿就是有家有孩子，整天这操心的事儿比较多，他没办法完全就是注意力在工作上。开发东西，它的速度也好，这些东西，包括他的想法 idea 可能也不如年轻人就是点子多。所以年轻人参与进来，当然年轻人有坏处，年轻人他可能考虑事情不太周全。
So I think we have our plans, and we're going to share how cats can be verified in our wallet. We'll probably use a different terminology when that goes out. But we generally think that the community is going to be responsible for maintaining this list as well. So each wallet is going to have its own set of cats that are verified or official in their wallet. And there is already an ecosystem player that has launched a site for creating this catalog, which is a very convenient tool. Jay, what's the name of that website again?
Tails database.
Tail database. 就是我昨天群里发过那个 Tail database.
Sorry, it's singular. Tail database.
Tail database 就相当于一个注册你的这个彩币的一个网站。
On that.
This is not something that has a trivial permanent problem like human named spacing is a real issue. We anticipate in the future there's going to be a whole ecosystem of different wallets and stuff. So we're going.
就因为它现在彩币的名字就只是那个 asset ID 嘛，就是你没办法把你的这个彩币和一个名字绑死，就需要一个类似 DNS 的这么一个东西，把你的 IP 和域名绑定一样。
local software if you want to.
Okay. I'm gonna just throw one at some of you guys who haven't got a chance to ask your question here yet. Harry, are you able to talk a little bit at all by chance about Hashgreen's visions beyond this initial DEX launch? Are there future things you want to do with it? Future things you want to do with Hashgreen beyond this DEX? Anything you can talk about there?
Yeah, of course. I think that there has been like several aspects that's been touched about how I would say difficult. Like there are indeed multiple steps that were involved, and the technologies of offers has been quite limited to some point where you know, like
就是他们这团队肯定里头是有懂 Chia Lisp， 不然没办法实现自动化。
And like one of the things that we want to work on or are currently work on is to sort of like remove that constraint to
就是如果我单纯从技术角度讲，这个团队的技术水平应该会大于这个。我想想啊，差不多。这个团队也得有人懂那个 Chia Lisp 才能那个发稳定币。
So that it's directly interacting with the Chrome extension wallet instead of well, on top of, I wasn't saying instead of, on top of the Chia official wallet, which is the one that we're demoing just now. And beyond those two, I would say the rest are plans in our head, but not manifested yet, including the AAMs and other plans about DeFi.
Cool, thank you. There's a question about. Oh, it just disappeared. Okay, and I actually can't remember the entire wording that question was, so I'll come back to that one when I find it. Oh, here we go. Okay. So the question was, I found it elsewhere. So just to be clear to everyone who's been watching all of us all along, everything you've seen today and everything we've done and demoed has been on mainnet. This is actually like working now on mainnet. These weren't testnet demos, just so y'all know. So to be clear, it was all on mainnet because there was a question about that. Okay, that said, another question from YouTube, and there's actually been several questions that kind of touch on this in different ways. So I'm going to ask this one question, but it kind of covers a lot of topics relevant to this.
再次强调一遍，他们今天做的所有的 demo 都是在主网上面，不是测试网。所以，如果他们这个新的金钱包上线了之后，所有人应该可以马上尝试这个东西。
And then also associated with that, there was the question of why does things like stably require KYC? There's been a lot of topic about basically the whole subject of KYC, not KYC, buying and selling in other ways.
他们这个稳定币的购买是要 KYC 的。我刚才没太注意，应该我不过也不出意料。按美国法律来讲的话，你买这个肯定得经过 KYC。Coinbase 也有 KYC。
We certainly don't see this as the end of exchanges or centralized exchanges. They have a role to play, and they'll continue to have an important role to play in enabling liquidity and trading of Chia and Chia asset tokens in the ecosystem. We think this is a fantastic.
Chia 现在我觉得没什么短板，不像别的项目就是短板比较明显。有的项目它是没钱，有的项目它是没有一个这种像 Prime 这种的代表人物，有的项目是没有技术力，是吧？有的项目是不会宣传的，宣传就是 Jin 这些的，他们这些都。自己都开过好几家公司，都卖过了，都卖的公司都卖给大公司了，他们都有这些人脉，有这些经验。所以说，Chia 我目前没看到有什么明显的短板，最大的问题就是时间，就是缺时间，他得有时间去发育。只要能发育，有足够长时间去发育的话，肯定不能说肯定吧，应该不会有啥大问题。
not someone, not a malicious actor.
那 Swap 现在有了呀。
Right, so for us, we have a very serious approach to compliance and data security. Right, there hasn't been any breaches of any sort.
OTC 肯定是要 KYC 的呀，你这个法币买虚拟货币肯定是要 KYC 的，在美国也是法律上也是规定要有的。
In terms of USDS, there's no on-chain KYC in that regard, right? So you can, after you've acquired USDS, which doesn't necessarily need to be by buying it through Stably Prime, you can simply, send it and do whatever you want with it, right? So there's no on-chain KYC piece.
Okay. We are very happy that the stablecoin is one that has a one-to-one backing, and that's actually audited, not just a pinky swear that the money's actually there.
他在强调了一下
we're not doing the tether model, right? Those funds are actually there, and
他们的钱是不会乱动的，就是1:1的。而且他们是有那个 audit 有监管的。
Highly unlikely, but it is an interesting edge case what if question. Because currently we're in a world where transaction fees can be zero and still process successfully. What happens if two people were to accept an offer in the same and submit that acceptance in the same block both at zero transaction fee?
That would be an invalid transaction. Either by putting it together, there would be attempting to spend the same coin twice, or it would be attempting to take the other side twice, in which case the balances won't add up. So you just can't do that. It has nothing to do with transaction fees. It's just in the nature of offers.
So what would the user experience like if you're the one trying to accept that and you submit the acceptance? Like, what would you see?
Oh, if two different people try and accept the same offer that's done, one of them will go through and the other one will just kind of see that their that their attempt to accept it has now failed, that the offer is
okay, but they'll see it failed. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
啊，他在说就是，如果两个人就是想抢一个交易的话，应该是那个付手续费多的人可能会有更大的概率抢到。那不是，比如说现在我1块钱出一个 XH， 如果想抢的话，那一般就是谁付的手续费多，谁就能抢得到。就前提是他们这个就是发送这个交易的时间差的不是特别多的话。
Or are some of these steps necessary and just kind of a part of the process?
Yeah, so I see a lot of these steps being automated in time. And some of those things may be built by us, but more likely the community is going to build things faster than our core engineering team. That's the whole point, is put this out there, enable people to build it, give them the developer tools, and have at it. So my expectation is that in time, a substantial number of offers will not necessarily be generated by humans at all. You'll set a bunch of rules and your wallet will be able to automatically do this for you. These will be like natural and normal ways in which your offer files interact with the blockchain.
Okay, thank you. Bram, is there always going to be a file that has to be passed from a maker to a taker? Can you limit the offer to a certain number of takers? I'm not quite sure what
so each offer can only be taken once. What you can do is make multiple offers with the same amounts. If you don't have enough separate coins in your wallet, it'll get mad at you if you try and do that for technical reasons, because if you only have this isn't a coin set model, so things are like quarters, nickels, dimes. They're different denominations of coins. Whenever you have an offer, you're spending at least one of your coins. You can't have more offers pending than you have coins in your wallet, because it has to break a whole
一个 offer 文件只能被消耗一次。如果你想进行多笔交易，你就创建多个 offer， 但是你得保证你的钱包里有足够多的币。
Offer is accepted once and only once. It's very important to understand that this is in the coin set model, not accounts model. So it's not like the blockchain has a concept of you have an account on the blockchain and here's your balance. There's just individual pieces of change that you control. And each coin has a life cycle that it comes into existence and then it gets spent, and that's it. That's all it ever does. It's born, it dies, the end.
Okay. When looking at the actual chain, the transactions on the chain, do offers, is there a very easy identifiable way to see them on the chain as a completed offer?
No, this relates to what I said before, that there are heuristics you can use by looking at the mempool and analyzing the amounts on different things and correlating across different things. There's nothing there that's 100% reliable. In some ways, this is a feature, but certainly someone could start putting together something that did analyze the chain and heuristically try and extract this value and make that information available. And this is definitely like a whole industry of blockchain analysis, just in general.
它这种 offer 交易在区块链上还不是那么好查得到。
Mention a couple of other things that are out there now. One is we have developer documentation that will be updated today at chialist.com. So if you are interested in digging into the details, Dan Perry from our product team has done a fantastic job of documenting how offers work. We also have
他们今天这个官方文档也会更新
YouTube page
关于 offer 这块。
if you want to learn more. We will have a blog post this afternoon that talks a little bit more about the future of where we see offers going. And then the final thing that we should mention is that USDS is based on our Cat 1 standard. We released Cat 1 in beta back in November with the intention of getting it out there, allowing the community to play with it, providing feedback and any changes. And I think we're ready now to announce that Cat 1 is ready to come out of beta. Bram, do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, well, it would be a little silly for us to be claiming that it's still in beta when people are moving real money with it. But yeah, we actually had, even before the release of the Cat 1 standard, we were a bunch of generations into iterating on it. That we
他的意思就是这个Cat 1现在这个采币的标准应该算是比较稳定了，算是正式版的了，应该不会有什么太大的改动，除非出下一个。下一个版本就是下一个大版本。目前来看，没什么太多需要改动的东西。
So the offers that we currently have, are they only compatible with our beta light wallet currently, Paul?
Yeah, that's a great question. So today, yes. Caps are currently only in our light wallet and offers as well. We have an upcoming release coming soon in which we are merging the light wallet back into our main branch.
目前这些新功能都只有金钱包可以用，然后他们之后可能会把这个功能就是合并到老钱包里头去。
So at that point, there will be one installer. From which you can pick to install Node, Farmer, Harvester, Wallet.
就以后的官方安装包，你可以就是模块化安装，你可以选择你想安装这个全节点，还是金钱包，还是各种各样的组件。
We kind of went over this, but just to make it abundantly clear for folks, I got a question for you, Marcus. Basically, people just want to, know for sure, stably, are you capable of letting them convert their USDS back to fiat?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can always 24/7, 365 days a week. We have a 99.99% uptime. You can always redeem your USDS for fiat, and there's actually ACH and wire, even international wires, how you can send it back to your bank account.
And is USDS? Because the name only
我觉得对美国人来讲，
US dollar,
我不知道他现在这个报税怎么报，就是他这个 USDS 的彩币。如果他不给 IRS 就不给美国税务局汇报的话，那就相当厉害了。就你可以在他这个平台上面买了币之后，然后炒一炒，炒了之后呢，然后再兑换成美元，这样的话就不需要交税。美国的税确实可怕。光税就有30%。
And we are coming soon with a date.
不过他既然要 KYC， 我估计是可能会向税务局报告你这些
and then merging it back into the main installer that I mentioned just a moment ago. I don't want to commit our engineering team to a release date on that just yet, but it's soon.
Awesome. Can you do me a favor? There's a lot of questions that you kind of covered with those two last things. Can you please close them? Because I'm having a hard time.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, let me scroll through that again. Sorry, folks, for being a little slow on these questions. We have a lot of questions that are kind of irrelevant and to the subject at hand that are good questions, but I have to dig through all of them to get to the questions that are actually the ones we want to cover. So it takes me time to filter through each time. We answer those. Bram, can you please close the questions you've answered as well? I'm sorry to keep asking you that, guys. I apologize. It's just I can't find the new questions you've claimed very easily without accidentally re-asking the same ones if they're still open. We have a question about the buy now button. Someone's asked about the buy now button that we've discussed previously and the things we've announced here today. Who wants to take that one?
We're going to be iterating on the buy now button in the future. Certainly the existing process of going to getting USDS and using that to acquire Chia is going to be streamlined in the future. And we might change what the buy now on chia.net links to in the future as well, depending on what happens. So going to continue improvement on those things.
Awesome. We got about, let's see here, got about 10 minutes left here. Unfortunately, there's more questions we can get to in 10 minutes, so I'm going to do my best to get to some of the more hot topic ones. If there's anything specific you guys want to tackle, feel free to just interrupt me and say, hey, I want to answer this question that you think is important for us to get to. Let me see here. I'm going to start just grabbing questions that you guys haven't claimed and just throwing them at you. Sorry, I do apologize for taking my time here. I just have to filter through all these. There's a lot of questions here that I gotta just kind of skip over.
大清完了什么意思？
Oh, we already covered this. Guys, is there any particular questions you specifically want to answer here from these?
There's a question about making more complex offer files. Like, can you make ones that are dependent on other pieces of logic? And the answer is yes, there's all kinds of logic that there could potentially be there. The most obvious one is you say, well, I will do a trade at the exchange rate that's reported by an oracle. And that's some kind of on-chain oracle, and there could be many different types of logic that could be in this oracle, very much including it being an AMM. And that is most definitely a type of thing that we will be supporting in the future, but not yet. Lots of things to be
他们现在这个 offer 的这个文件是最原始的那种 offer 文件，但是这个很容易扩展，就是加更多的功能。就比如说刚才说的那种时间限制，就是我这个 offer 必须得是在什么时间之内完成之类的。程序改一改的话就可以，但是就现在这种需求太多，他们可以慢慢做。每个人的需求都不太一样。
Timeout built into offer files as a part of the primitive. And this was an intentional design choice. However, you can imagine that wallets in time will build in those types of timeouts so that the wallet itself is managing that kind of thing. But it's not the offer itself that has that timeout, it's really things built on top.
Usually what happens with an offer is if the market moves against you, someone will accept the offer quickly. So generally speaking, the offers you want to retract are the ones that that you don't have the opportunity.
他说那个时间限制一般是钱包来控制，也可以，就是他钱包会监控你的这个offer 发出去多长时间没有交易，它可以自动给你取消。属于链下的一个操作。
Okay, cool. So there are actually many different pieces that need to come together before we can make the liquidity pool happen. First of all, we need to figure out like a mechanism how these UTXO-based coins work together to create a functioning liquidity pool. And secondly, we have to have a wallet that interacts with that pool in order for you to create the pool, for you to put in liquidity, to take liquidity out, and to be able to swap with it. And finally, there's this central utility token.
这哥们儿在讲他们要搞的那个流动性挖矿。
So like these pieces have to be sorted out together before all of these could be made. And I think a reasonable time frame would be around a number of months. I would say, maybe 2, 3, but don't put me on that. Because like these pieces
他
have
们
to
可能
be
2-3个月之后可能
together,
就会有
and
东西出来。
we're not controlling all of these mechanisms, so we have to find partners to work on that.
I did do a blog post outlining the high level
就这种
technical approaches
区
to
块链的
make
应
a
用
really,
吧
really good AMM
差不多
UTXO
就
model.
是
Or, well, in the coin
1到3个月。
pretty close to the UTXO model.
当然了，就是刚开始的话会比较慢，刚开始大家都不熟这个东西，要等第一代的这种程序就是工程师培养出来之后呢，那就会越来越快。这是个滚雪球的过程。就是你第一次开发肯定会比较慢，等你熟悉了这个东西之后，开发起来就会比较快。
The internal use cat for balances that the AMM itself is sitting on, and those are actually pretty close to normal offer files to make those things happen. So lots of great functionality to be had there.
Awesome, thank you. Paul, offer files, can they have like notes or text or memos attached so the person on the other, side can read something like a, hey, these coins are from so-and-so for whatever, thanks for trading with me?
We haven't built that into offer files themselves, and we don't have a plan to do that. Again, this is the kind of thing that you could imagine being something that somebody builds on top in a wallet or on an exchange.
Okay. Unstably, Marcus, you mentioned
有人问能不能在这个 offer 里头留言，就是备注，让对方看到一些信息。他们现在不支持这。
So we actually haven't finalized the fees yet. In the for the wrapped tokens, in the beginning, they will likely have a promotional period where there won't be any fees, but they'll probably only be for the first couple months or so. Generally, as you saw before, other fees, 0.1%. We are we're more geared towards growth at this stage, and that's also generally our approach to fees.
And speaking of growth, USDS itself, is there a plan to get that on more centralized exchanges as well to kind of open up more opportunities for people to get into that kind of space with it?
So actually, our approach for growing USDS is like, because we see all this ecosystem growth happening on blockchains themselves. And in Chia, our approach is actually more to look at DeFi.
你这问题问的我没法回答，会涨到200吗？你得加个时间啊，兄弟。你是说明天会涨到200吗？我可以说不会。
For us, the future growth path is more on decentralized use cases.
Okay, so we've only got about 3 or 4 minutes left. There's one particular question in here that Bram picked he wanted to answer that isn't quite related to all this, but I think it's a really good question, and I want to give him the chance to answer it and kind of end it on that. But before I go to something a little slightly off topic, is there any final questions or statements you guys want to make covering some of this stuff that we haven't got a chance to get to yet?
我觉得下一次爆发可能就是等这个大盘这段熊市过去之后。
Has there been any thoughts, or are you interested in maybe working on any kind of converter?
这波熊市我不知道要持续多久。
Cross Chia EVM compatible approach that would allow for Solidity developers to jump to Chia more easily.
So yeah, so the way you develop in Chia Lisp is actually very materially different from how you develop for Solidity. Chia kind of steers you. Chia Lisp steers you in a very specific direction about how you go about doing things, which kind of makes you do a bunch of development up front to do things in a certain way. And it's really about conforming to the UTXO, well, the coin set model. We sometimes use those interchangeably. They're not technically interchangeable, but for the people not deeply steeped in the technical minutiae, they're pretty much the same. But it forces you to work in that model. Once you're in that model, everything that you do is very interoperable and extensible, very much by its nature, which is really, really great. Although it kind of it winds up kind of making you take that pain up front. So you never really want to translate a Solidity program into
我觉得还是有可能涨到1000的，说实话。
persistent data and the state that's being kept on chain. Now, there's general
减半不是还有两三年吗
？tooling that can make
2年多吧。
development much easier. Starting with
我乐观预计今年年底
Singleton standard are actual pieces of code
可能会站上300以上，我就会比较满意。明年年底站到700、800甚至1000。我就会比较满意。联系方式你关注我就好了，关注我频道，然后频道里头有 QQ 群，也有 Discord， 看你喜欢什么。然后我们也会不定时的发一发什么奖励，抽奖什么的。这个跟算力没关系，这个跟算力还真没关系。就是它区块链的价值，不是说它背后有多少的硬件去跑它这个，然后它就有多少价值。那是因为你区块链本身没有价值的话，你只能是通过这个硬件的价值来衡量。但是如果你区块链是个真正的有应用价值的区块链，那你的价值应该是你这个上面应用的价值来决定。
Last thing I'll mention is that
Offer bin 怎么用 ？Offer bin 就是你上去输入你要买的币，然后价格，然后它会给你一些可选的项，就是别人发上去的 offer， 然后你把那个文件下载下来，拖到你的气钱包里头去，点完成交易。记得拖之前那个再检查一下这个价格对不对，然后数量对不对，然后点完成交易就 OK 了。
coming days or so. This was an exciting thing for us to work on. We were really excited to share it with you guys. So thanks for all being here. And we're going to do another wide-open AMA at the end of this month. We'll probably do it either the last week of January or the first week of February, depending on a few things. So we'll see you all next time there.
这月还有一次这个线上大议啊，下次可能讲那个 AM， 下次 AM 也不知道讲啥。OK， 结束了。我发下链接，那我发一下吧。Does not mean wonderful service.为什么我现在不能生成这个邀请链接？等一下，我这个那啥满了，我这个 Discord 满了，也不是满了，就是它得验证一下，然后才可以。我完了搞一下，我没注意。你关注啊，不是关注，就是订阅就好了。早点睡吧，国内的朋友早点睡觉吧。然后我会完了再回看一遍，然后看看，对，会有总结视频，会看一遍，看有没有什么漏掉的东西。然后争取吧，主要是他们官方现在也要这个，也要把这个视频就是整理一下，总结一下，所以他们官方放出来这个视频，会议回放的时间会比较晚，可能会好几个小时之后的，或者甚至明天。 如果我今天要做的话呢，可能会漏掉一些东西。看情况吧，我可以先把这个稿子先整理整理。OK， 行，各位早点休息，我也吃中午饭去了，拜拜。